we go, fans. It's IPW Weekly Recap, and I'm your host, Aaron Royal. And yes, I'm your only host this week. My normal partner in crime, or whatever you want to call him, Ron Nemi, you saw him last week scurry off like a little girl because he lost his voice calling a 19-minute match. You'll never see those kind of shenanigans from the mastermind, Aaron Royal. He's still complaining about having shortitis, bloateditis, laryngitis, I don't care, whatever it is. I'll have to find a suitable replacement for Ron Nemi. But fans, if you missed last week, you missed a hell of a match between your Florida Unified Timekeeper, Naphtali, and Reckless Youth. But we've got an even bigger show this week. We've got Don Montoya, part of the Black T-shirt squad. He's taking on IPW's own heavyweight champion, Agent Steele, with a very special stipulation on the line. And then, our main event is to unify the tag team titles. It's Mike and Todd Shane, the NWA Florida Tag Team Champions, taking on Naturally Marvelous, the new IPW Champions, coming at you right now. For the IPW Heavyweight title, he's from all the way in the Northeast, independent superstar Don Montoya. He's a partner in crime with the guy you saw last week, Reckless Youth. And there's your champion with Tiffany, Agent Steele. Sans, I told you I was scrambling for a good replacement. I found a great one, my good buddy, Ron Steele.
Well, Aaron Roy, it's my distinct pleasure to be in here commentating this fine matchup.
Oh, look at that legal tag by Don Montoya.
I don't think there's a tag match going on. I think this is for the IPW Heavyweight Championship. And speaking of IPW Heavyweight Championship, we got November 30th, Independent Armageddon at the Florida Expo Hall right here in Pinellas County, just a little north here of IPW's Florida WrestlePlex on US 19.
Rod Steele, you've learned well from Rod Neiman. You come in, first thing you do is plug one of our shows. Great job, pal.
Hey, I'm not afraid to shamelessly plug as our champ locks up with Don Montoya here, center of the ring, forcing it back now. Don Montoya may be a little heavy for our man Bruce, but I'll tell you what, another cheap shot by our, see, Agent Steele not afraid to throw little cheap shots our way by Don Montoya, eh?
No, he's not. Agent Steele, he's known to take any way he can to hold on to that IPW heavyweight title. The fans here love him. Referee Richie Rich loves him, but he's checking on Don Montoya, complaining about a busted lip, I think. He's seeing a close punch. Who cares, Don Montoya? This is IPW. If you can't hack it, head back to Puerto Rico, head back up north, but get the hell out of here, because this is where the tough men play.
Well, Aaron, I got to tell you, though, the rules clearly state you are not to use a closed fist.
Blah, blah, blah.
We are stickler for the rules around here. I remember Honest Eddie was coming out here with the IPW rulebook, and Bruce, Agent Steele's not here for
I'll tell you what, you're a little flustered there having to take the place of Ron Nemi. I can understand it. Those are some small shoes to follow. Don Montoya again with the legal tag in the corner.
I don't think it was a legal tag. I'm just telling you. Poor Richie Rich is here, not sure what's going on.
Big hip toss on the big man by Agent Steele. Taking over Don Montoya, who misses both guys with a clothesline. Kicked right in this ample gut by Agent Steele.
What is going on here? Richie Rich is supposed to be an official, not in here throwing moves around. I don't care. This looks like blatant biasm by Richie Rich.
Biasm?
Biasm, look at this. He's hip tossing the opponent here. What kind of rules do we got going on here,
I swear, you were just channeling Ron Nemi, messing up the easiest of words. That Don Montoya,
I can't blame Don Montoya. I can't blame him for leaving. If you're not going to call a fair match down the middle, Richie Rich, I wouldn't want to be in the same matchup with Agent Steele myself.
If those doors would open, if the guys doing the doors hadn't taken a bathroom break, Don Montoya might very well be out of here, but I don't see him get to the doors. They're giving the 10 count. I don't think he wants to lose the match this way, Rod.
No, absolutely not. You can't win the belt on a count out, so Don Montoya's got to get back in there and face our champ.
You already saw his buddy Reckless Youth. He had a great match here last week with Naphtali, but was ultimately unsuccessful from taking that Florida Unified Cruiserweight title. And speaking of guys like you and Naphtali, you'll both be a part of that match that I booked, Don Montoya holding his neck, that I must have been crazy for booking. It's going to be you and this man, Agent Steele, taking on Jarrell Clark and Naphtali. But I've got a plan, and I've got a big surprise for all four of you on that show. That show's right here tomorrow night at the WrestlePlex.
Well, I got to tell you, me and Agent Steele hooking up, it's all that's going to cause is trouble down the line. Right now, he's our champion here at IPW, but anytime you hook up with Agent Steele, it's bound to be a big, fat whooping.
It's the Steele family against two cruiserweights, but right now, no cruiserweight Don Montoya getting manhandled by our champion, Agent Steele. He may be a guy that's a little goody two-shoes despite the cheap shots here and again. I may not always give him his due, but Agent Steele, a fighting champion, a very successful champion. He's beaten guys like Scoot Andrews, Billy Fies, Mike Sullivan, Mike Shane, Pat McGoin, on down the line, and right now he's trying to add to that arsenal by beating the man from the Northeast, Don Montoya.
Well, see, you notice here now, Agent Steele's using a little leverage on the, obviously Don Montoya, the bigger of the two. He's got to use the
Tiffany.
speed. Yeah, that's actually a good shot. A good call on that.
And you know, Tiffany on a radio show that I was on at the Dallas Bull Lounge, she was on the radio when I was, and this is a controversial statement. Maybe it'll come up tomorrow night. She said when she's done with Agent Steele, Rod Steele is next. I don't know what that means, but no matter what, you sound like a lucky, lucky man.
I am a lucky man. I got to tell you, she was on a radio program with me, but you really didn't hear much she had to say because it's not good. Well, this is a family show. I can't really talk about it. I can't really say where I was going to go with that. Once again, back to Agent Steele, working the mighty thick arm of Don Montoya, sitting there dead center of the ring. You got to get that in there, Agent. You got to get there tight, strong. Just kind of the kind of stutter step. Aaron, please help me out here. I'm dying out here.
You are dying out here. I thought I was getting a competent replacement for Ron Nemi, but don't take that the wrong way. We're still good pals, Rod.
Well, that's what I appreciate, you, Aaron. You know, sometimes when a guy's a little floundering a little in the middle of the ring, just like Agent Steele does, getting big clubbering shots by Don Montoya.
He's a clubbering.
He is a clubbering, just like Mr. T circa 1995.
Mr. T wasn't even around in 1995. I mean, he'd been around, but he was way, way gone.
I don't think I'm really good at dropping the names like Ron Nemi is. I'm really just trying to do the same thing everyone's used to around here. A couple big right shots there by Agent Steele, shoots him in, right back into the ropes. Boom, another arm drag. See, using that speed, using that leverage. Oh, man, I've been on the receiving end of a couple of them hits. They aren't the prettiest things in the world. Big spin up in the mouth.
And Don Montoya, very, very lucky that he hasn't gotten the chop effect yet from Agent Steele. Everybody here in IPW can throw the chops, and Agent Steele among the best of them, but he's trying to slam the big man. And I don't know if Don Montoya didn't have enough taken out of him, or if Agent Steele had too much taken from him already, but he couldn't get the big man up, and he takes a big forearm to the back. Don Montoya, your challenger, taking over this title match.
Some of the inexperience by our IPW heavyweight champion, Agent Steele, trying to slam the big man. That man's got to weigh 500, 600, 700 pounds in the middle of that ring. There's no way he's just going to be able to lift him up.
You do have Ron Nemi going through your body, the king of the exaggeration, and you're taking up right where he left off. About the only thing you're missing that's always here when Ron Nemi's here is the booster chair to reach the microphone.
Well, I don't need any booster chair to get up. As a matter of fact, speaking of getting up, you got to go to www.highspots.com. You can see this whole match in its entirety. You can see the Reckless Youth Naftali matchup. Tremendous matchups all around, and you can see them in their entirety if you go to www.highspots.com or even go through IPW-hardcore.com.
Exactly. And fans, if you want to train to be a wrestler, you want to come out here and be trained by guys like Agent Steele, my good friend Rod Steele, our cruiserweight champion Naftali.
Raking the eyes across the ropes. Don Montoya not afraid to bend the rules a little bit from Agent Steele's couple shots early in the match. I can't see why he wouldn't want to use a little kind of chicanery, not arguing with the ref, not afraid to get in Richie's face either.
No, nobody seems to be afraid to get in Richie Rich's face until he hits him with that stunner. He's giving him a hip toss. If you don't watch out, Don, the stunner might be next.
Boy, if he gets an ample...
Big splash.
Uh-oh, down goes the champ, dead center of the ring. Montoya showing the savvy, the ring presence that he has. Oh.
If he had so much ring presence, he would have tried to cover him right there. Instead, he's trying to look pretty, pointing to his head like he's...
Oh, and there you go, the big girl, two. Oh, almost a big 3 count here, Aaron. Don't mean to cut you off. I'm just getting excited to see my man Agent Steele.
You didn't cut me off. You didn't cut me off at the same time. That's commonplace around here. And he throws Agent Steele out of the ring. But as I told his buddy Reckless Youth last week, you've got to hook the leg, Don Montoya. You've got to hook the leg.
Absolutely. We're not talking a lightweight. We're talking our IPW heavyweight champion. You got to hit every... Oh! Little cheap shot there by Don Montoya. Tiffany, maybe the X Factor, causing a little problems here for Agent Steele. See, you know, you can't always trust these women. They do.
Women always causing problems, whether it be in the bedroom or in the ring. Now Richie Rich, I think he saw the chair shot. He was just...
Oh, and another almost near fall here by Don Montoya.
That time you cut me off, Rod.
I don't know what came over me here. I'm trying to call a fantastic matchup here in the middle of the ring, and you're too busy marking out for Tiffany on the side there, who's too busy getting Agent Steele in a wee bit of trouble.
Yeah, but she is hot.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, I guess.
What's he doing? Oh, big spinning leg drop right across the throat of our champion. And I think if he wasn't showboating one more time and went for the quick pinfall, here he goes. 1, 2. Did not hook the leg again. Richie Rich maybe a little bit slow on that count. I've got to give you
Here
props.
she goes again, distracting the ref. Here goes Don Montoya, getting ready right underneath the gun. Richie, turn around, man. She's right there choking him out. Help me, dear God.
Are you rooting for Don Montoya or are you rooting for Agent Steele? You're flipping back and forth worse than Bill Clinton during his 8 years in office.
I don't know anything about that, but I do know this. She's still up there, and she's going to cause Agent Steele the match. I got to tell you, I don't like these women down on the sidelines. All they do is get in the way. They belong in one place, and that's the bedroom.
or over at Extra Innings after all of our shows, where they come and mark out for guys like Aaron Royal and sometimes even guys like Rod Steele.
Sometimes my eyes.
Oh, he's choking him again.
Oh, look at this.
Tiffany, what are you doing?
I gotta get out of there, Toots. All you're doing is causing problems.
And what people don't know is before this match, there was an altercation, a verbal agreement. Not only was he putting the title on the line, Agent Steele, he was putting Tiffany on the line for a night as well. And now she seems to distract the ref to give Don Montoya the advantage. Is she looking for the big man loving?
Hey.
That's the question.
Well, you know, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. Look at her now turning right back to her man, Agent Steele. He's getting a little support from the crowd, powering his way up. The big man's got to use his weight on him now. Oh, a couple big stiff shots here. Ooh, shoots him.
Actually, after the second one, it was a couple. It was one when you called it.
Frickin' pie hole.
But he's hitting him in the back with those forearms once again. And there he just throws the tape at Tiffany. She's acting like she doesn't want anything to do with him. A sure sign that she wants him, if you ask me.
That's the classic grade school. I hate you, so I'll punch you, but I really like your technique. Here he goes, Don Montoya. Big slam, dead center of the ring. Good, look at him, just using all that size. I'll tell you what, for a big man, look at him.
No, he's not.
Nobody that size is going to be able to do comes on a flippy move
I
here.
thought he was going to the top rope.
Oh,
nice.
God. How did he get his big butt over? I'm amazed by this, Aaron.
I don't know, but you get your big butt over out there all the time. You can't get the fans to boo you as much as you'd like. Bobby Rogers.
Style.
Or sorry, Buddy Rogers, not Bobby Rogers. I get confused between one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Oh, there he's blowing kisses at Tiffany. She's blowing it off.
Baby.
Hey, we already know she has experience with the big man, as she was broken in by none other than the manager of champions, Mike/Mark/Marvin Gold.
Well, HR puppet stuff, Mark, what's his name again?
Something Gold, I don't know. I just called him the Money Mark.
Either way, look at this, climbing right to the top rope. We've already seen this man can fly, this man can flip. This could very well be spelled in the end.
But taking too much time once again. Rod, you know, you've only been in the ring about 3 years now, but you know you just can't do that.
Absolutely not. You can't wait to get up.
And that's exactly why.
That's what's called paying the price. Big fist drop. Oh, Agent Steele looking a little hobbled there. What happened here?
Agent Steele, a little...
2. Oh, kicks out here.
Yeah, Agent Steele a little bit worse for wear, but he was able to at least try to go for that pinfall attempt. And his knee seems to be hurting him a little bit there, Rod Steele.
I think you might be right,
I didn't see anything that happened, but he's holding on to his knee. All right, I mean, I don't know. We don't normally stop matches because of injury here in IPW. Agent Steele is going to have to go on. He's going to have to defend that title on one wheel.
See, that's the whole thing about being a champion. You don't call in sick. You don't miss flights. You got to be in there delivering the goods. And as Ric Flair would say, walking the aisle. Now here he goes, Rich trying to keep him away so maybe Bruce can get a little bit of his breath back. And I know I keep accidentally saying his name, but Agent Steele and I are kind of tight. Tight enough like
what's he doing? Oh, he's back to that hip toss. Big body slam. He says, I can't beat up the champion. I'll just beat up the master of the stunner. What's he? No, he's not.
No, he's calling for the bell. Richie Rich.
That ain't right.
Ridiculous. Richie Rich was hip tossing this man not 2 minutes ago, and now he's calling for the bell because he's giving a little shot back. This is unheard of. I have never seen such a thing.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. You don't see that much here in IPW. Fans, it looks like by disqualification, your winner and still champion, Agent Steele.
Your friends all stop and stare at my spiky hair and at my punk rock t-shirt. You are the girl for me, only you can see me. Your eyes are not open, 'cause I am one of a kind, and you'll never find a guy who will love you more. I see you in the hall, I trip and then I fall, and you just stand there laughing. It wouldn't hurt so bad if you only had offered to help me out then. You are the girl for me, only you can see me. Your eyes are not open, 'cause I am one of a kind, and you'll never find a guy who will love you more. Maybe someday.
Sonny's Feel Good Barbecue.
So, 2 all-you-can-eat specials?
You bet.
We get it right, and it tastes tastes so nice.
At Sonny's, we make a big deal out of our all-you-can-eat specials. That's all-you-can-eat. Barbecue chicken, sliced pork, garlic bread, potatoes, and coleslaw, only $8.99. You'll be back for more.
We'll make you smile at Sonny's. We're gonna make you feel good.
What a cheap, what?
See that, Aaron?
What?
You see that, Aaron? Right there. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
your arms are getting pretty big. I told you working out with Aaron Royal would help you out. Keep it up, kid. Like I started to say, Agent Steele, you might have got the win, but it was a cheap win. Don Montoya deserves a rematch as far as I'm concerned. I know Rod Steele didn't like it.
Absolutely not. Agent Steele, you got a whole bunch of title defenses coming up. We got November 2nd at the Lealman. We got November 30th at the Pinellas County Expo.
I feel like I'm out here with Ron Nemi. You got the 30th right, but Lealman November 2nd, that was 2 weeks ago. You took too many shots to the head.
Well, sometimes we're in Chinatown, and nobody works Chinatown like Rod Steele. Not that little mook behind the camera, not any of the little mooks. What do you think about that, punk?
Well, let me tell you something, non-silent Rod. You'll probably screw it up again, but I want you to talk about this big tag match, Mike and Scoot versus Mike and Todd. Tell them about it, Rod.
Well, you got Mike Shane out here doing this, Ron Nemi out here going like that, Todd Shane all over the place. What I'm telling you this, folks, the cameraman's counting down. Don't you cut me off. What do I got to do to get some more time in here? I got money. Look, you need some...
This is a tag team title unification match coming out first, along with my usual co-host, Ron Nemi. It's Mike and Todd Shane, the Shane brothers, just back from a tour of WWC in Puerto Rico, where they tore that island apart. I don't like to give them credit, but when you're as good as the Shane brothers, you have to.
Well, you know, you got the Shane brothers out here, two shaved apes, two jacked up for their own good, out here with a hardcore midget, Ron Nemi. Now here comes two incredibly skilled athletes. We're talking Mike Sullivan, Scoot Andrews, and brought out by the lovely Ecstasy, wearing a nice Pee-wee suck shirt.
I have some of those.
I think you would.
They're lined up on my wall, actually. Not one of the shirts Ron Nemi tore off of me and abused me a couple of weeks ago, but a shirt I have nonetheless. These two guys, they call themselves Naturally Marvelous. You saw them here a few weeks back when they absolutely destroyed the Strong Brothers inside that steel cage to win those titles. The fans loved them before the match. Now they can't stand them. Now the fans love the Strong Brothers. Those two guys haven't been able to wrestle a full match since.
They haven't been able to wrestle, period. Look at this big shoulder tackle by Big Shane. I don't even know which one's shaved ape it is. My money is on Mike Shane. All I can do is look at the daggone Sonny's barbecue hanging out his gullet.
I can never tell the Shane brothers apart either, so we're partners right there in that respect, Rod Steele. But here you see Scoot Andrews coming in. Big chops to one of the Shane brothers as Mike Sullivan on the outside. These two teams have gone at it a couple of times already. This is the first time this to unify the belts, and he throws him right over the top rope onto his partner outside the ring. If the IPW Tag Team Champions don't get it together, the Shane brothers are going to be the 97-time IPW Tag Team Champions.
See, the thing about being champs are they can take their time, they can collect their thoughts. You just don't win the champs by just getting it out of a Cracker Jack box. You actually got to bust your ass in there, and these two guys know what it's like to pay the price.
Actually, when you won the tag team titles, you did kind of take it out of the Cracker Jack box. You and Mark Zout sneaking out from under the ring and getting the cheap pinfall, but I got to admit, I kind of liked it.
Look at that. Ecstasy out there jawing with them guys, getting them back in the ring, trying to get them motivated to take on these two oafs.
Some dorky fan behind her won't get out of her way, but here you see Naturally Marvelous. They're coming back. They're going to take their time walking around ringside. There you see Star Stevens making the count, but he can't count to 10, so he has to keep starting over.
That's right, and see, that kind of works in the favor of Naturally Marvelous, because again, you can't lose the title on a count out. And here he is. Which Shane twin is this now?
I don't know, but at the same token, if they want to unify these belts, they can't win the NWA Florida belts on a count out either. They have to be very, very careful not to get counted out, DQ'd, or anything of that nature. Make no mistake about it. Not only do they want to unify those titles, they want to embarrass the Shane brothers, they want to embarrass Ron Nemi, and I can't say in that regard that I blame them.
No, I can't say I blame them there either. Look at Mike Sullivan trying to throw a big chop down the way of that big meat sack. Mike Shane?
I don't know. I just call him Michael Todd.
Michael Todd, excellent. Good work. Now look, just manhandling Mike Sullivan into the corner. Shoots him right back into the other corner, follows him up by a big splash. Come on, Mike, you got to get out of there, baby. Look, double underhook suplex. Ah.
Throws him right across the ring, and I tell you, I had some harsh comments from Mike Sullivan and Scoot Andrews. I was kind of shocked by their brutalness against the Strong Brothers in that other match. But let me tell you something, I've reviewed the tape again, and this sadisticness, I absolutely love it. These guys, my new favorite tag team in IPW. They've already taken out the best brother duo IPW has to offer. No reason they can't take up these two big lugs that Nimi brings to the ring.
Well, I really would go so far as to compare the Strong Brothers to the Shanes, but nevertheless, Mike Sullivan, Scoot Andrews, Naturally Marvelous, has gone in there and taken it right at the Shane Twins, right at the Strong Brothers. They don't care who they get in the ring with. The Shane Twins right now, the NWA Florida Tag Team Champions. Naturally Marvelous, the IPW Tag Team Champions. Look, a couple quick reversals here by Mike Sullivan. Locks him up in a big headlock, shoots him off. The big man, boom, another big shoulder tackle by Mike Shane. Mike Sullivan, you got to be thinking, man, that guy's too big.
Huge leapfrog. Nice ups by Mike Sullivan.
Oh, man. Geez.
What was that, Rod Steele?
Oh, it looks like a big judo throw by Mike Shane. Now, Mike Shane's big, he's fast, he can do it all. He moves like a cruiserweight, he throws people around like a super heavyweight that he is. I got to give these two guys credit where credit is deserved. They are that good.
One thing I have to say about the Shane
How's
Brothers,
your chin, baby?
it's for a couple of for a couple of monsters, they work way too small.
Oh, they don't work way too small at all. They're too fast, they're too big, everybody has something negative to say about the Shane Twins, but the bottom line is they are the champs, just like Naturally Marvelous. Look at this, big stunners all around here by Sullivan. Scoot, down goes Mike Shane. Down goes Mike Shane.
Look at him pulling out the Howard Cosell, Ali Frazier thing going on.
Oh,
a headshot right to the McGroin of one of the Shane Brothers.
Any more kids with that little pee-wee there, fella.
Nice call by Rod Steele. Nice call by Rod Steele.
Now look at this, Scoot. Not afraid to bend the rules, but see, that's why you can be the champ. Oh, back rate. I don't know, man. That big back of his, I don't think you're going to be able to scrape.
Hey, I don't care how big your back is. I don't care how much cheap barbecue you've eaten. You rake your nails into a man's back, into that tender flesh, it's going to hurt. Just like my tender flesh was always sore after I was attacked by Ron Nimi. I wish these guys would come after him on the outside.
Hey, we don't want to talk about tender flesh. That's young kids. Now look at Mike Sullivan and Scoot Andrews. Not afraid to utilize all the rules as Star Stevens got his back turned. I thought Star was one of our veteran referees, and he's fallen for the stupid mistake of as soon as the twin comes in, starts jawing with him, gives it Naturally Marvelous their chance to get a little out on Mike and Todd Shane.
Hey, I tell you what, Star Stevens will tell anybody who's listening, he's been reffing for 47 years in the business. He knows exactly what he's doing out there in the ring. Right now, he wants the Shane Brothers pummeled as much as we do, so he's acting like he doesn't see the beating that one of the brothers is taking at the Naturally Marvelous, as they just give him a double clothesline with his own arms.
Do you see the quality teamwork of Naturally Marvelous? Do you see the thunderous chops by Mike Sullivan? These are two guys that deserve to be the IPW champions, and soon, in my opinion, the Florida and IPW Unified Tag Team Champions.
That very well may be. We're both hoping so. Fans, whoever holds the unified belts, they will be defending them November the 30th at the Pinellas Park Expo Center. It's on US 19, just past the Super Walmart. I tell you what, fans, I know you all know where Walmart is. Make sure you're there.
Oh, absolutely. Now look, see here's Mike Sullivan and Scoot Andrews making the quick tags, being smart tag team champions.
Yes, tag teamwork in modern wrestling, go figure.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. You know, the other day you were mentioning belts, and speaking of belts, you got to go to www.highspots.com.
Oh,
spike pile driver by Simply Marvelous.
Naturally Marvelous, Mr. Martin Nolte over here.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. And here he goes, 1, 2. I couldn't see it, but I could hear it. He almost got the 3 count. He had the leg hook. That should have been a 3 count. I think Star Stevens too worried about his friend Donnie in the back and not counting the obvious 3 count. The Shane Brothers should be former champions.
Again, look at Todd Shane out there, messing it up for his brother. In there, jawing away with Star Stevens. That's giving my men, Mike and Todd, no.
Your men?
I mean...
Yeah, we know exactly what you mean. We got some primeval Siddick stuff going on here with the way you're calling commentary.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
But they do. Oh, Scoot missing with a clothesline.
Oh
my goodness, that's got to be it.
But it took a lot out of Mike Shane nonetheless. Both men are down. Scoot, you got to get over to Sullivan. Make that tag. Come on, baby.
And you've got to quit slapping your leg like that, or the guys in the production shop are going to absolutely kill you. That just kills his ears. Don't you know anything, Rod?
Do you think I care about the clowns in the production truck? Do you think I care about anybody around here? No.
Hey,
I'll do what I want. I'll say what I want.
Except me. We all know. We tell everybody that wants to know just how good of friends we are.
Oh, we're tight. We're like this and stuff. Look at this. Big thunderous clotheslines here by Mike, Todd, Sonny, Shane, which one?
I don't know which Shane it is. I call him Grimace. I call him Barney. It doesn't really matter. But all I know is one of them just gives a big back body drop to Mike Sullivan. Once again, he's taking the smart way out. He's powdering while he has the chance. Let the fresh man, Scoot Andrews, go in there and take the beating. I mean, give the beating for a little while.
Oh, what could this oh my goodness, what is this madness? Oh my God, it's
Swinging something on her.
What are these two maniacs doing to people?
Philly Five.
Yours
Look at that.
truly.
What a surprise. I had no idea.
Oh, this is tremendous. What teamwork. Right now, folks, you're looking at some of the most phenomenal athletes in the ring.
Look at those red shirts.
Did you see how high Mike Shane got? That's the beauty of the South Beach Slam.
That
It's
was all
leverage.
you muscling him up.
It's not about muscle, it's about leverage. I can put it on any oath I want, be it Mike Shane, be it Mike Todd, Axis, Naftali.
That's because they got the Mexican goods down in Miami Beach. Hello, Ecstasy.
Oh, and there's a couple of new assets in place.
Takes the belt.
And
Oh.
down goes Mike
He
Shane
tried to duck
again.
out of the way, but he couldn't do it. You caught him square in the gut. And here he goes, new champions. Turn around. Turn around. 1, 2, 3.
It's all
You're
academic,
unified
baby.
tag team champions.
Look at this, and now you're seeing right now, folks, the forming of the Alliance of Defiance. Now, whether you're coming up in the next couple shows, November 2nd at Leoman, November 30th, Independent Armageddon, we're talking IPW, we're talking NWA, we're talking
He
Alliance of
took out
Defiance.
Nimi. Oh, here come the Strong Brothers. They can't wrestle, but they're cleaning house with some chairs. Watch
Whoa,
hello,
look
Valerie.
at the legs on that one. Boy, they go all the way up, don't they?
I'm going to let you talk. I'm way too flummoxed to continue.
Well, flummox is one thing, and speaking of flummoxing, look at Ron Nimi down. Strong
I
Brothers
love
running
it.
around. That's the nicest thing I've seen all day. And you got the Strong Brothers out there.
Wearing a
shirts,
Dory Funk
t-shirts.
Jr. hat,
Look
Cedric
at it. I'm
is.
begging any one of them to do some push-ups, sit-ups,
And that's it. We got to go. This is not over.